Hello and welcome to this lecture, and in this lecture we will finally complete the designing of our database. So once you have designed the database, there are a few more things which you need to take care of. The first thing is that you need to check if the database for the particular app which you are using, so right now we are in the books app, so we need to make sure that this particular app is installed. So in order to check that, you need to go to the settings.py file, and if you scroll up here, as you could see, you will have a list of installed apps right here. So there is the admin app, the authentication app, the sessions app, the messages app, and everything like that. But as you could notice that the app which we are using, that is the book app, is not actually present over here. So what you need to do is that you need to make sure that your book app is installed as well. So in single quotes, you simply need to type in books, and if you open up the books app, you will have an apps.py file right over here. So if you open this thing up, as you could see, you will be able to see something which is called as the books config. So what you need to do is that you need to copy this books config. So right click on it and copy it and return back to the settings.py, and right here in the installed apps, what you could do is that you could type in books.apps because it is present in the apps.py file. Again, give a dot and paste the books config which we have copied here. So what this is going to do is that it is actually going to tell Python that we also want to use this particular app, which is the books app. Now once you are done with this, also make sure that you include a comma at the end, because you also have a list of other apps which are installed. So make sure that you have a comma at the end, or else you are going to have an error. Okay, so once this thing is done, we are pretty much good to go. Now the only thing which we need to do here is that we need to apply a few migrations so that our table is actually ready. So we have defined the structure of the table, and now is the time to actually make up our table at the back end. So for that, you need to type in Python manage.py make migrations, which is going to make migrations for us. And here you need to pass in for what particular app you want to make migrations. So as we have created the database for the books app, you need to type in books over here and hit enter, and as you could see, it now says that create model book. So it has actually created the migration for the books. Now the next thing which you need to do is that you need to type in Python manage.py SQL migrate. Then you need to type in the app's name, which is books, and type in 0001, and when you hit enter, it is actually going to create the table for you. So as you could see, this statement is a SQL statement which is actually used to create a table. So by typing in this statement, it actually created the table with these attributes. And if you notice here, these attributes are nothing but the attributes which we have defined in the models.py file. And the final step here is that you need to type in Python manage.py migrate, not myfreight, that should be migrate, and hit enter. And once you are done with this, the entire step of creating an actual database or a table in database is actually done. And now we could go ahead and put in some data into that particular table. So these three steps, that is nothing but the Python manage.py make migrations books, the first step. The second step was Python manage.py SQL migrate books 0001, and the final one, Python manage.py migrate, are these steps which you need to perform whenever you make changes to the structure of your database. So the structure of your database is present in the models.py file, and whenever you actually modify or make changes to this thing right here, you also need to perform these three things so that the newly created structure is reflected at the backend. So that's it for this lecture, and we are finally done creating the table which is called as book, which will allow us to store data into it. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.